We are officially retired. As biotech and the military gained access to the blue blood in 1951, they both began experimenting on 20 human volunteers. I, Dr. Tiago Ansari, of which I found myself part of this extraordinary group. Before I was part of the National Alliance group, there was a group before that, which was a test group of sorts just to story and analyze how we worked together as a group and how we used our powers effectively against adversaries. We were called the First Generation, and we were active from 1951 to 1955. Back then, I wasn't known as the Crusher. My first alias was Tanker. With super strength, super resistance, and an incredible super jump, I helped the team by delivering powerful blows to our adversaries. And the stronger they were, the better for me, because I loved a challenge. These are the other members of the First Generation. Lord Granger was a British soldier from the Second World War who sought a warmer climate and ended up on Gala Island in 1949 as part of starting a new life. After becoming a Galilean national soon after and learning Spanish, the country's main language, as he adapted perfectly to Galilean traditional customs, he heard about the alien spaceship crash in 1951 and quickly volunteered to become one of biotech's experiments. Injected with the blue blood, he joined the First Generation team. His super speed flight attacks are scary to witness, and his super freeze breath were invaluable to the team. In a way, Lord Granger is one of the most beloved superheroes in the country. Serpentina, the elf from another world, joined us under mysterious circumstances. From her world of the Kingdom of Galatea, she was defending her king from an evil army invasion when she randomly discovered a red ruby stone. Upon touching it, she was transported to our world, appearing during the First Generation's third mission. Serpentina became an essential part of the team, using her water horse stampede magic, her elven fire sword, and her dark magic to summon giant snakes. She sheds her skin every month, the essential secret to her immortality and beauty. The swordsman, his real name is Rodrigo Davila. He was a 3-time Olympic fencing champion who sought greater purpose in his life. Volunteering for biotech's experiments, his power manifested a bit later than others, frustrated by the fact that others got their superpowers, but he didn't. But then, after our third mission, his mastery of the sword became way more evident. As part of the First Generation, he could summon magical swords at will and wielded them with ruthless precision. His eerie ability to appear and disappear by stepping on shadows made him a scary ally, and he is known for not talking much. He likes to choose his words carefully and speak only when he is spoken to, but his silence irritates people sometimes. The last member of the team was Lady Fiend, a full vampire who joined biotech out of curiosity for the blue blood. Once injected, her body and powers were boosted dramatically. Her vampire strength increased 10-fold, her super speed 20-fold, and she gained the ability to fly. Her long red nails could become deadly blades, and she could summon a cloud of red bats that could destroy everything in their path, as well as working together as a shield to herself and her team. We knew she was a vampire, but we never told the biotech personnel because it would cause a war between the humans and the vampires, so we shielded her secret no matter what. In a few short years, our team faced numerous adversaries determined to plunge Gala Island into chaos. Some villains were just dead evil, but some were misunderstood, especially if some of them could not know how to better control their powers. We did what we could to maintain the peace in the country, often resorting to brutal and nasty measures to defeat these supervillains. President Huanu, nearing the end of his presidential term, decided to establish a private facility known only to us and a select few with high clearance. This facility, named Rexus Venture, in a private little island separated by the homeland, was designed to incarcerate all supervillains that were too dangerous for society. Together with a group of engineers, I developed a method to block superpowers permanently by using a collar worn around the neck of the inmates. A bit humane but necessary at the time. Rexus Venture became a formidable super prison facility, and we were responsible for placing many evil people there. For a long time, we believed that Rexus Venture was unbreakable, but I was wrong. In present days, while I was still leading my team, the Super Freaks, a more personal crisis has arisen. President Tamahawk called me personally to inform me that the 12 disciples had escaped from Rexus Venture, but only one of them stayed behind. Some unknown villain had set only them free without breaking in or out, while leaving the rest of the inmates still in prison. By order of the president, I was tasked with locating the 12 disciples, but instructed not to engage, as she believed that the Super Freaks would be able to handle it. I countered her orders, asserting that it was the responsibility of the first generation to hunt them down and recapture the escaped supervillains. President Tamahawk was initially displeased with my proposal, but after some consideration, she warmed up to the idea and agreed as long as I agreed that if my team could not handle it, I would immediately call for backup. Now, I am not only tasked with finding my old teammates, I'm also tasked with tracking down the 12 disciples and bringing them down. Of course, it's going to be easier said than done, because these 12 supervillains were the hardest villains we faced back in our day. Out of hundreds of supervillains we defeated and caught in such a short time of 4 years, the 12 disciples were the worst supervillains we have ever faced. They earned their name by forging a pact, led by a mysterious entity we could never encounter, to challenge natural authority and wreak havoc across Gala Island while recruiting more villains to their evil cause. Here are the disciples. Superburner, a pyromaniac who relishes burning people alive with his super fire flames, laughing as he watches them suffer. He knows no bounds, and he is very dangerous with his superheat ability, which can make the whole country super hot, making people to die of exhaustion and dehydration. Futura, equipped with futuristic armor, she creates massive supersonic booms that send people flying and cause severe bleeding. But that means nothing to her, as she also loves to torture people with a specific frequency sound that have people on the floor with huge vibrating pain, followed by vertigo and blood vomiting. Diablo Ferdinand, with super-resistant red skin and immense strength, he rivals my own power. His 10-foot frame hides incredible speed, and his fatal horns can destroy buildings. It is rumored by historians that Diablo Ferdinand is the descendant of the mythical creature, the Minotaur. Honey Bunny, a dangerously seductive villain who uses her beauty spell to control men and some women that can fall in love with her, making them do her bidding. You have no idea how much pleasure and satisfaction she has when she sees her subjects drool over her, kill for her, and die for her. I know this very well because I was one of those fools. My team really had a field day with her. Till this day, I still don't know how we all got saved and awakened from her beauty spell. Toxin. This high school bully turned supervillain can fly and shoot neon toxic energy. He has a history of robbing banks and destroying police cars, and his maturity might make him even more formidable and more unpredictable, making it harder for us to read his movements. Maria Mermaid, an evil mermaid who hypnotizes people with her lullaby and devours them with extreme pleasure. She wields a golden spear, has super strength, and can operate effectively on land as well as in water. But be warned, if you really piss her off, she will have no problem summoning 200 feet levels of tsunamis. Zeus Jr. With the ability to generate and manipulate electricity, he creates weapons and throws thunderbolts, often summoning thunderstorms and restraining foes with painful thundercuffs. Beware his lethal kiss, ladies, because he can be very charming indeed. Teodolma, an evil witch who tortures people by controlling their blood, eventually transferring it to herself. Often mistaken for a vampire, she also has the ability to fly. To be honest, Teodolma and yours truly have history together. When I see her again, we might have to resolve this personally in private if we can. Ogre Man, a pure ogre from Serpentina's world, Galatea. He seeks to destroy Gala Island and capture Serpentina to bring her back to their world. He is also very good at wielding a giant ogre sword, has super strength, super jump, and he has the weird ability to control Serpentina's snakes. Not even Serpentina knows how he can do that, but I wonder if he has traces of blue blood inside of him, because that would be the only possible explanation I can think of. Zombro. A failed biotech experiment with super strength, resistance, stamina, and the ability to create earthquakes. His zombie scratch can turn others into his obedient zombie army. Sakabusa, a female demon with piercing yellow hair that can become super fast blades and glowing eyes that can stop time for individuals, allowing her to kill them. She wields a demonic energy sword and casts dark illusion spells. She gets even stronger when people get sad, lonely, angry, depressed, stressed, and with super low self-esteem. Which means that with such feelings existing in this world alone, she will be able to survive till the end of time. Arcangelo, Sakabusa's husband, radiating a blinding light that paralyzes foes and converts them into his worshippers, enhancing his power. He uses light blasts and a righteous spear that can cut through anything. Just like his wife, Sakabusa, when people say his name in prayer and worship him, he gets even stronger. As a result, he has many followers that grow by the minute, which means that with their hope, he can also survive till the end of time. While Arcangelo is actually a recent addition to the Disciples, it is suspected that he was the one who facilitated the team's escape from Rexus Venture. However, the original 12 and last member that terrifies me the most is Goobert the Clown. He can make people go to sleep in a flash and magically induce them into horrific bloody nightmares and treat them as his games. He only has one rule: to survive their own nightmare. But if they die in their dreadful dreams, the people will die in their real life. But that's not all. Goobert's ability to predict enemies' movements and intentions are very scary indeed, with immaculate accuracy making him an opponent that cannot be underestimated for a second. He voluntarily surrendered after our last epic battle in 1955, walking into Rexus Venture without resistance. Despite being the most powerful, Goobert was oddly the most respectful villain of all. Now I wonder if he already foresaw this present calamity coming, and if so, then there is a chance that he might be playing us all, even to his own co-villains. Goobert the Clown might be playing chess, when we all have been playing checkers, since he really knows what the future holds. We have a monumental task ahead of us, and the clock is ticking. It took us 4 grueling years to apprehend and lock up the 12 disciples, and I can't help but wonder how long it will take this time. Perhaps President Tomahawk is right. I should consider having backup ready for those inevitable tight spots. It's all there in the classified documents. My old team, the first generation, is officially listed as inactive. On paper, we are officially retired. However, this designation is more than a status. It's a bittersweet reminder of the sacrifices we made and the lives we once led. Despite being retired, the urgency of our current mission calls us back to action once more. The bonds we forged and the battles we fought together are etched into our very souls. Our so-called retirement is a mere formality, a technicality in the face of the looming threat. So we prepare to rise again, to hunt down these escaped villains, and to restore peace. Our experience and determination remain undiminished, and we will do whatever it takes to protect our nation once more, one last ride, one more time.
My goddess, the villains have taken the bait. Soon I shall collect all their debts, just as you commanded. Finally, their souls will be yours at last.
Excellent work, my loyal pet. Keep a close watch on them. It's time for these mortals to pay the price for their foul transgressions years ago, because this time they have no choice but to comply with their goddess of death.
I see everything.